Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Gita here, and I am in the midst of climbing my way through Conquest, and I've realized there are a lot of Hokey religions feats, or not realized, but I kind of was thinking about it again, and I just wanted to share some of the best teams I think there are for clearing these feats, in Conquest specifically. Outside of Conquest, I don't know if there's really a reason to try and care if a team has access to the Force or not, so this is primarily a Conquest video, but also kind of a commentary on the game on what the best teams that don't have any access to the Force are. Well, I hope you have the audio turned on because this is not a good squad. This is actually the honorable mentions section, and it's kind of cheating. I'm trying to do the whole Imperial Trooper faction. I think in the Conquest, the Item Verso team is actually better than the standard Command, Veers, Piet, Gideon team or Dark Trooper team because she starts out with 100% turn meter when the right data disc combination. You can get out in front and stay out ahead. Conquest in general just seems to be anti-Imperial Troopers because all the teams are so fast, you can't really outspeed most of them, especially on the boss nodes, so they don't work really well. And even when I have to get kills with Imperial Troopers, I tend to do it with under like a Lord Vader lead to get them more survivability. And you can tell CG knows this because they make a lot of feats of kills with Imperial Trooper units because it's so hard for Imperial Troopers to make it in Conquest. So this is kind of a number 11 and 12 honorable mentions. It's just the Imperial Trooper faction because unless it's PvP and it's just an even playing field with speed, they kind of suffer, with Iden kind of edging out Veers and Piet and all them. Coming in at number 10, we got a Bounty Hunter team, just a standard boss team. That is my preferred lead, and there's some data discs that make his lead much more potent. If you just throw like one caustic commissions out there, this team becomes so hard to kill because of all the damage over time's happening all the time, healing the team up. This works way better with an Amplify Agony build. It doesn't have any synergy with a Zealous Ambition build, but it does work well with Blindside because they get a lot of attack out of turn. So those are some of the main damage dealing builds, and of course Ruthless Offense is kind of a shoo-in for any build. Just one dot and it's increasing your damage. But they got great survivability under Bosk. They got a lot of hits if you have an Amplify Agony build, especially Fennec Shan. Grief Karga has a double hit, Jango Fett double taps, just a lot of stuff. A lot of call to assists, a lot of attack out of turns, and then you've got the insta-kill. They have decent survivability, but you really kind of need a Caustic Emissions to ensure like a 3-star against a lot of teams, and you need some kind of extra damage coming in. If you don't have Blindside or Amplify Agony, I probably wouldn't run them, and that's probably why they come in at number 10 for me, because things can go south for them, but they are definitely a great option. If you got one great enemy to kill, Mando does the job. Coming in at number 9, it's a little bit higher than Bounty Hunters, but it really does need Zealous Ambition to work. Blindside probably isn't going to get it done, but if you have enough Zealous Ambition, Admiral Raddus is just a weapon of mass destruction with his AoE. It's just incredible. There's also some nice cheese that goes on to help you get 3 stars. If you use Scarecrow Pathfinder, chances are you can come back. Jin has revives. She also can't die as long as Raz is alive, and just like the AI is dumb in Grand Arena, it can be dumb in Conquest. So hopefully you throw it in and they go all in on Jin and she's at 1 HP and then they can't resist attacking her. But mainly all the damage is coming for Admiral Raddus. Don't really run it unless you have Zealous Ambition, but if you do, it's both a nice team to take on a hard team you're facing or to get a quick win against certain opponents, like First Order. Teams that aren't super durable and are kind of flimsy, you can one-shot them with 1 AoE from Raddus. That's why I give them number 9, and just they have a good chance to 3-star as well. Coming in at number 8, we got a team that's also featured in the Universal Feats for this season. This is the Fury season. We got the Talzinlee Night Sisters with Marin as the 5th, not Zombie, or not Spirit. Even though I have Spirit at Relics and Marin at Gear 11, 3-star, I still prefer Marin. She does a lot for the team with protection recovery, really helps with the survivability. And with Zombie there and Daka and Talzin's lead, this team is just great for getting a 3-star. You really just got to watch out for teams that are going to prevent revives. I probably wouldn't try them against Bounty Hunters if there's either Boba Fett, Jango, or Mando there. Or any other team. Just keep an eye out for revive prevention. It's really going to kill this team. But you can afford to lose a couple people and you'll bring them back and go down a bit. And this team is really good no matter if you're using a Zealous Ambition build or an Amplify Agony build. They can get some good damage with Blindside, not as much, but they do have some assists from Talzin, and then if someone's dead, they're assisting. But Daka, Ventress, Talzin, and Marin are all support, so they are hitting way harder with Zealous Ambition, and there's a lot of little hits out there too, which makes Amplify Agony a great choice as well. So I think this is an awesome team, and it hasn't really even been a sacrifice to get those universal feats, but even outside of this current Conquest, still a great team without the Force, number 8. Coming in at number 7, we got Dr. Aphra. And she could be higher on the list, I'm not sure, but she's a little bit lower because you can't use Darth Vader in this comp for it to work. For it to be the non-Force user team. But this works in a variety of builds. I mean, Zealous Ambition is great because you have Dr. Aphra is a support, she's getting to go first. Also 000 is a support, and he can hit pretty hard. And also Imperial Probe Droid, if you have him functioning mine is just R1, not great, but still support, so it does good damage there. They don't do a ton of hits for Amplify Agony to really take off, but they do have a good amount. I mean, BT1 is the best there. The going first and reducing cooldowns or increasing cooldowns isn't as powerful as it is in PvP, but because she's a support, if you have Zealous Ambition, it is pretty great in that regard. And if you have Ruthless Swiftness and you poke someone below 100% health, you can get off and running. So it's a very strong team, but not as many people are going to have it. Number 7, so it could be a little bit higher. I'm not sure. I just haven't used it as much, and I'm not in love with it, but still a great team. Number 6, we got Rex Lead clones, and I like using clones under Rex Lead more than I do with General Skywalker in Conquest. If you've watched I don't have a ton of Conquest videos, but if you watch any previous ones, I always talk about this team. And if you're not familiar with Rex's lead, he gives turn meter whenever an ally suffers a critical hit. Everyone gets 15% turn meter. And why that's so much better in Conquest is because the teams are so jacked up with speed. And damage somewhat, but more speed. They're just ridiculously fast. If you don't have a way to get initiative, there's a chance you might not ever take a turn with certain teams. So Rex prevents that, and also 5's unique comes in great here. It's not this one, actually. His Domino Squad, he gains 15% turn meter whenever another Clone Trooper or 501st takes damage. So he's going to get a turn. He can call an assist, call someone. You usually want Echo, and if you're running Zealous Ambition, which I recommend at least one, you can call Echo. He's a support. And that's kind of the thought behind this whole structure. I don't have ARC Trooper or like Cody or anything. I have Echo and Tech. This is 4 support characters, and then 5's as the tank. 5's is there for the initiative and survivability, but once Echo gets a turn, you do the same thing you do with Bad Batch. It's the Wombo combo. You use this move, you dispel all debuffs, get daze, get healing immunity, and then you use Brilliant Idea and you stun them. And there's no way around it, and then it just falls apart from there. It's not amazing for auto because for some reason Tech likes to use his first special first, which is annoying. So when I run it, I like wait till I take a turn with him and do it, and then hit auto. But it's an amazing team. It's just really so good. You should try it out. Still only rank 6, could be even higher. Moving into the top 5 now, and number 5 is the Zori Bliss team, or otherwise known as the Fin Popo Zori Bliss team. She has great mechanics for this. She's also a support, which is awesome for Zealous Ambition. But I think the best data disk you could run this team with is Blindside, because the built-in synergy with the exposes, with Finn's leadership, you get great stats for the 6% defense, offense, and potency is great. Lots of turn meters, so lots of initiative. You basically just need Finn to take a turn, and then you're going to be off to the races. You can swap turn meter to Poe, and then you can inspire Zori or something, and then use Zori's mass assist, and then when Finn is inspired, if they do an AoE or anything, your whole team's going to counterattack and wipe them out. Just quite an incredible team, and even though the Omicron's not active, you can't have her Datacron, or her Datacron's gone now, but no Omicron active, still an awesome team, so I definitely recommend using that in Conquest. Number 4, we got Sortie Droids, and this is all because of BB-8. It's just an incredible team. These are all support or healers. We got support, and healer on IG-11. So it's amazing with Zealous Ambition, like totally insane. You're getting 40% turn meter for all the droids from BB-8, which can help mitigate that insane speed everyone has. That makes your speed, if you have like 300 base, you're probably over 500 effectively, or something with that, or maybe 400 something, but it's pretty crazy. 8% turn meter for each active droid ally. So that gets you out there. Sortie can open up with her AoE, which is multiple hits. If you have Amplify Agony, that's amazing. If you have Zealous Ambition, that's also amazing. So you can really get a ton of damage done there. You can one-shot a lot of teams with this. Geos are an easy one-shot, as long as they don't outspeed you, which is pretty hard to do. You can just take out the entire Geonosian team with this. There's just a lot of teams like that. They're one of my go-to when I'm simming at the end against the Datacron nodes as well, just because it's so easy and I'm not worried about it at all. It is kind of stamina dependent. You don't want to get too low on the stamina. I don't like to do it below like 60%, because if you're not getting out first with Sortie, it can go south. IG-11 is amazing on this team with Zealous Ambition, because he is counterattacking and he's also got a ton of health, so he hits for incredible amounts. He does like over 200,000 on the basic. And then T3's there for the armor penetration. R2 could be replaced, but he supports, so it's good. I like to run BT1 and 000 with this team too. It's kind of easy. But Sortie droids, yeah, as long as you have BB-8, some support, they are quite powerful. And the bronze medal goes to General Grievous team, just a straight up standard General Grievous team. We got B2, B1, Droideka, and Magna Guard. This shines the most when you have Amplify Agony and the Volatile Accelerator combo. It doesn't get anything from Zealous Ambition, not a thing. There's no supports on this team. It's nice with Blindside, but if you have Amplify Agony, it's so good. You win in like 15 seconds. Because B2 gets the initiative. Once you're taking hits, he's going to wake up at some point. No matter how fast they are, and he's going to do his AoE. And you can start getting off to the races once you get that target lock out there. This is incredible against the Tuscans, which is probably the best Datacron node to hit. You can auto that team even until like 1%. So you could just run this team over and over again. That's assuming you have, I mean, even if you don't have decent relics, I mean, if you're 1% stamina, your stats are really low anyway. I've never tried it without relics. But yeah, this is an incredible team and a great go-to if you have the right data disc combination. But again, if you're running a Zealous Ambition focused data disc set, you're not going to get anything out of this team. Number 2, the runner-up, is Dash, Han, and Chewie as a team. Yeah, I'm double dipping here on IG-11 and Queel, but you could run others here. They're not super important. If you ran Beskar Armor Mando, it might make it safer. If you're a Nest, I don't know, that could be fine. None of them use the Force, so just a scoundrel team led by Dash, and then has Han and Chewie. This works with an Amplified Agony build. A Zealous Ambition build is amazing for Dash. Dash himself doesn't care. I mean, Zealous Ambition, he can one-shot a whole team as long as he gets a turn to do his triple attack AoE. This is such an insane ability when you have Zealous Ambition. With Amplify Agony too, it's a lot, and then you're also putting the days on them, so they're not even gaining the turn meter from Volatile Accelerator. But Han gets to go first, has Chewie assist. If you have Amplify Agony, that's going to do the most, and then if you have at least a Ruthless Swiftness, you're going to get some turn meter, get Dash to go, and really take it home. IG-11 Queel's great for the stat sharing. IG-11 is great for the taunt as long as he has Queel there, and he's going to do some counterattacks and big damage if you have Zealous Ambition. But since we have kind of both active right now, that's why I keep talking about all these. You also get some good damage out of Blindside. This is just an amazing team. This is probably my best go-to when I need to get that feat done, just because of the initiative and the sheer damage that Dash can bring. So yeah, runner-up, Dash, Rendar, Han, and Chewie. And number 1, you could probably see this coming a mile away, but it's Jabba the Hutt. This is the only Galactic Legend that is not a Jedi, Sith, or unaligned Force user. Maybe we'll have more in the future, but for right now, it's just Jabba. The team's very durable. If you have Zealous Ambition, it's crazy because the one damaging move he can do, Crumb's Revenge, it's not just an afterthought what the damage is. It's really going to one-shot people because he has crazy health. And then multiply that by his Galactic Legend ability. He's got a lot of health. So that does a ton of damage. You can just start out with a one shot and then attacks out of turn. If you have an Amplify Agony build, you're getting a lot of attacks out of turn, or that's for blindside is attacks out of turn, but just a lot of attacks in general for Amplify Agony. So you're really going to melt through people. I always use Boa just because I love his AoE ability block. I love that he can come back once if he goes down. And I also don't have the Embo Zeta, so he's not really an option for me. I don't think Amorian Guard adds much. But Busha is amazing on this team. They're not, your opponent can't assist because of her, which is awesome. And I just run Skiff just because that's how I do it. And then Kirsan's very durable, so he's going to keep the team alive. This is honestly the biggest go-to when you're doing that, and I think it's a pretty natural choice. So pretty easy number one for me, but every one of these teams has been useful to me at one time or another, so I'd recommend all of them. So that's all I got for you on the Hokey religion stuff, guys, at Conquest. I'd love to know your favorite comps, if you differ, if you think I rank someone too low or too high. I'd love to hear from you. And also don't forget to like the video if you did enjoy, and sub if you haven't already. Always appreciated. And good luck in Conquest, guys.